Hello, everybody. Polish tennis players Iga Swiatek and Hubert Hurkacz have today spoken out after the head of the Tennis Association in Poland has been accused of abusing players, and in particular an MP in Poland by the name of Katarzyna Kotula, excuse my pronunciation. And in response to the accusations that she made yesterday in Poland, Swiatek and Hurkacz have both taken to Twitter to release statements, and we'll look at the first one here, which is from Swiatek, which she released just over an hour ago. She says, "I feel that as a current leader of women's tennis, I can't be silent about particular matters. I remember that I appreciate having the freedom to decide whether I want to speak up about something or not. Considering my sensitivity, knowledge, boundaries, and strength I have at the moment to support people who suffer or encourage you to do something like taking care about our mental health. And that's why I know now that when it comes to physical violence or emotional abuse, the most important issue is thinking and being sensitive about victims. And when we speak up about something wrong, we need to think about them first and most of all. I'm trying to do this the best way I can." She continued, "I'm against violence in sports, in tennis, in every discipline and in everyday life. That's why I consider the articles about the president of the Polish Tennis Association as a serious matter." She continues, "What I feel I can do is to encourage you to look for help when something bad happens in sports and in communities." And she also encourages people to reach out to hotlines where possible. She goes on to say, "This can be my role, and this is how I can use my influence here, being a voice who tries to educate and remind that the most significant thing is to look for help when you need it." She concludes that, "Personally, I was lucky not to experience such difficult, terrible situations, and I'm extremely grateful for my dad and for how wisely he managed my career. I hope that with exposure of such matters and solving them carefully and fairly, sports will change for the better in Poland and in the world." By the way, and in response to that, the Polish lawmaker Kotula responded with thanks by saying "dziękuję," and she was in particular appreciation of both Swiatek and Hubert Hurkacz, who released this statement saying, "I support all women and all victims of abuse. No coach or guardian should use their power and position towards anyone. Any aggression, both in sports as well as outside of it, needs to be condemned and punished. I hope that appropriate authorities will react to the press reports on the subject of the head of the Polish Tennis Association, Mirosław Skrzypczyński. I stand with all victims of abuse." And like I said, in response to both of these statements, Katarzyna Kotula responded with a thank you. Initially there, as you can see, to Hubert Hurkacz, but also in a tweet to Iga as well. Respect and thanks, Iga Swiatek, and regarding the fact that she couldn't keep silent. So that is just a short, brief news bulletin for you, and we'll be speaking to you very